Hey everyone, it's Diane at livingthegoddesslife.com, and those of you may know me from Venus Pole Fitness Studio or Goddess Body Boot Camp. One of those three. I'm kind of all over the place, but I have a great video today I want to dive into. I have a private Facebook group page, and inside that private Facebook group, I'm in there usually every day, and I'm posting different questions and trying to see if there's anybody who maybe needs some help or has like a burning question about nutrition, exercise, confidence, anything all-encompassing healthy lifestyle. And today I have a really great one. I got a lot of questions, so I'll hopefully be popping in here more often with a couple more videos sharing with you guys, and also with my private group, which you'll see a link should be above my head there. If you're curious about joining, you could pop in there. It's a great little community. It's always buzzing with different topics and fun stuff not related strictly to health and fitness, but also just life in general. But yeah, so you'll see a link up there as well as a couple other links to some stuff I'm going to talk to you guys about today, because I have a great opportunity for you to jump on board with my next challenge for free. So stay tuned on that. But first, for the first question I wanted to go over today was with one of the girls that posted in the group, and it was Aubrey. And Aubrey had asked, how much can I eat? And she also asked if she's still feeling hungry, you know, what can she do, like as far as serving sizes go after that? So I'm going to talk to you guys today about calories. And I was just inside my private coaching group, and I was doing a long video and discussion about that. So I'm going to make this a shorter version with some actionable stuff for you guys to think about and consider doing if you kind of feel like you're floating in this. I really don't know how many calories I eat right now. And, you know, I'm tired of doing things the way that I'm doing them now. Maybe I should see where I'm at with things and go from there. So calories are not created equal, which I'm sure a lot of you smart goddesses already know that. They are not created equal. So this is going to tie in directly to Aubrey's second question, which was, if I'm still hungry, can I, and I've already consumed a serving of something, should I have more? Now, if you take 1,000 calories of, let's say, popcorn and 1,000 calories of protein, which of the two do you think you are going to feel fuller off of, right? Like, what is going to keep you feeling satiated and you're not going to feel hungry? More often than not, it's going to be the protein-rich foods that you eat that are going to keep you feeling fuller versus something like popcorn or chips or, you know, pastries, things like that, stuff that's really maybe high in calories, but not so much in the content, not much good quality nutrition there that's going to keep you feeling fuller longer. So with that in mind, I would say the order in which maybe you should sort of experiment with this way of figuring things out in terms of your where you are right now with your eating regimen and your lifestyle versus maybe changing things up, is starting with figuring out around how many calories you should be consuming a day. Now, I'm going to give you a caveat here. If you tend to steer on the direction of, once you start counting, you become obsessive with things, this isn't something that I recommend for everybody. I recommend this as a tool when you're first starting out and you feel completely clueless as to how much you eat per day. It is a great way to bring you into awareness and mindfulness as you start to eat during the day, and realize, you know, how many calories are in certain foods. It's really great to be armed with that knowledge, so then you can make those decisions based on what you know already. So I did include the link, like I said, to a great macro calculator, and that is going to take in your weight and your body fat percentage, which you may not know. So you may have to guesstimate there for right now, and some other factors, and you plug these numbers in, and this should be a loose guideline for you to sort of navigate through the next steps that I have for you. Okay, so when you plug in your numbers into a macro calculator, it's going to tell you what your percentage of macronutrients should be. So like proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, micronutrients aren't included in this, so that's going to be all of your like leafy greens and veggies, not like your high sugary fruits and stuff. That's going to be something that you should probably count in your complex carbohydrates. But micronutrients being like anything that's dark green and leafy in nature, broccoli, green beans, kale, spinach, things like that, those are free. So eat those all day. Eat them all day, every day, right? Just be careful what you put on them, right? Like butter and stuff like that, because then that just negates the whole concept. But you'll plug it in, you'll figure out what your macronutrients are, how many grams of protein, how many grams of carbs, and how much healthy fat you should be aiming to sort of steer yourself into on the daily. Now, I like to do more of a, if I'm feeling like maybe I want to have a little more food or I'm still a little bit hungry, I will play around with that. And sometimes it's just the time of the month, stress, whatever. If that's the case, then you can also experiment with low calorie, high volume types of foods. So of course, lots of leafy green veggies, stuff like broccoli slaw, if you've ever seen that in the grocery store, stuff that's going to add more volume and voluptuousness to your meal without adding more like voluptuousness to your body. Unless that's what you're looking for, then certainly add it on. But those things are going to make you feel full. And other things that you can do too is like a giant green protein smoothie, like lots of liquids, right? Like ice and maybe some almond milk and a little bit of water and a ton of like spinach and maybe some frozen veggies, things like that that are going to create a high full feeling in your stomach. Also some fiber, which is also going to help you feel fuller longer. So it's definitely, Aubrey, when I post this in the other group, it's definitely going to be looking at your meals in terms of sort of that landscape. So protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats. And that is definitely going to predict how you feel once you finish that meal and if you're going to feel like you're still hungry. I don't know about you guys, but if I was to consume, let's say like Eggo waffles versus my protein pancakes, which are made with like oat flour, which is heavier, and egg whites, and maybe a little bit of cottage cheese, something that's really heavy and dense, versus the Eggo waffles, I'm going to eat this and be full for probably about 3-4 hours probably, versus the Eggo waffles where you're hungry in like an hour. So it's definitely what you're eating that's going to dictate how much of it you can eat. Now, the tool that I want to give you guys, now that you know what your calorie count is, about how much protein you should be having, carbohydrates, and healthy fats based off of that calculator, I want you to use your hand as a guide. If you are somewhere where you really don't know the calorie counts of things and you're basically eyeballing, for lack of better words. Now, this is an old school method of figuring out a general guideline. So again, this isn't going to be for everybody, but a general guideline on how much protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats you should be eating. So the inside of your palm is where you want to measure your the serving size of protein. So about the inside of your palm, not counting your fingers, all right? Now, like I told my girls in my other group, that doesn't mean that you use your palm and then stack it this high. That means you use this as the circumference, you use that as a guide, and sort of eyeball your proteins that way. That way, when you go into figuring out how many calories are there, which you can do via the other tool, which I forgot to mention the beginning of this video, which is MyFitnessPal, which has an enormous database of foods where you can look up, okay, how many calories does about 4 ounce chicken breast have, or a hamburger patty, or something like that, and you can just have a general idea of how much you're consuming. So here's your protein. Now, as far as complex carbohydrates, the size of your fist. So a closed fist is about a half a cup-ish, depending on how big your hands are, of complex carbohydrates. So things like brown rice, sweet potatoes, if you like brown rice pastas, if you can even do white potatoes, different types of starches. That's going to be your serving size. Now, healthy fats are going to be things like avocados, olive oil, nuts and seeds, nut butters, peanut butters, almond butters, and then you have other fats like butter, olive oils, cheeses, egg yolks, and stuff like that. So that's going to be the size of your thumb. And if you want to see a cool trick, look at that. Look at that. That is a crazy double jointed thumb, isn't it? You want it to be the size of your thumb. Okay, so your healthy fats, portion size about the size of your thumb, that's roughly about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. And this is gonna be the smallest portion size because it carries the biggest calorie punch. So whereas carbohydrates and protein are 4 calories per gram, fats are 9 calories per gram. So you want to go a little easier. Even though they are healthy fats, too much of a good thing is definitely going to add up. So you want to be careful with that as well. Now, if you are feeling like you are still hungry, and you have these sort of things already in line, you really need to scale back. Just take a step back, look at your meals, see where there might be something missing there that is not satisfying your hunger needs. Maybe you're not eating enough, but definitely using, if you can, typically most of the time you're going to be still hungry because of the meal that you ate wasn't satisfying enough to last you to your next meal. So you're going to still feel like you want to keep eating. The other thing to consider is that you're waiting too long between meals. So you may be waiting, you may eat breakfast at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you're not eating lunch till like 2 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock. And I totally get that. If you're busy and you get wrapped up in life, then you're going to feel ravenous, and you're probably, even if you have a well-rounded meal where you're hitting those sort of bases for your macronutrients, you're probably still going to feel pretty famished. So I would suggest to you on days like that where you may think that that's potentially going to happen, maybe throw a protein bar in your purse, double up on your water intake so that way you're not dehydrated, which we can also mask. Dehydration also makes you think that you're hungry sometimes, and you may not think like, I'm not dehydrated, I drink water. But even long periods of time without water, your body is going to make you think that you're hungry when you're really thirsty. So double up on, definitely double up on your water if you can throughout the day on those days when you know that you're definitely going to be eating a little bit later. That can lead to overeating or the desire to want to keep eating because you feel like an eat beast, right? That's what I call it. Like some days I'm like, man, I am hangry. Like I cannot get enough food. And usually it's because I didn't have enough sleep, I waited too long between meals, or I am definitely not hydrated enough. So hopefully that answers the good old question that Aubrey posted in the group about how much you can eat. And again, that's going to be very individualized. I give you a couple tools there to play around with that and see if you can give yourself maybe like a guideline of trying to play around with that and see how you feel ultimately. The macro calculator, which I have the link above for you to figure out how many calories are, you're going to play with for your specific needs. Then MyFitnessPal, which I will include the link in there. I don't think it's in there currently. MyFitnessPal, so you can look up like how many calories do 2 Eggo waffles have, and then you're like, holy cow, this like adds up really, really fast. And that includes everything. I like to call them BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes. Those all add up too, right? So those are other things to consider. And then also we covered talking about navigating if you feel like you're still hungry, looking at the meal before that, a couple tips on working through that if you anticipate that going to be an issue where you're going to have a long gap of time between meals. And last but not least, we are going to talk about an awesome thing I've got coming up, which is a 7-day lean and sexy rut buster challenge. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I go through waves of periods of time where I'm kind of doing the same old, and I feel like I just need to like bust out of my rut and shake things up and do some different stuff. Or maybe you're like, I've been in a rut for years. Totally okay. I would love to have you on board. We are going to start that on May 1st. I love starting, you know, it's never too late to start anything. You can start whenever, but there's something to be said about starting a new month with a new energy and just like a reset button. So that is coming on May 1st, and it's going to be loads of fun. I've done this before. I've had well over 1,000 women go through this challenge. It's all held and housed inside of my private Facebook group, which you can find the link in the description box to join in and also sign up for the 7-day challenge. Now, what it is over the course of 7 days, you'll get an email from me. And this is the 2.0 version. I'm revamping it a little bit. I'm adding in a couple new videos this time around. And some new content, but it's going to prompt you every day. So you'll get an email starting May 1st. You'll actually get one as soon as you sign up to give you an idea of what's going on. But on the very first day, you'll get an email to your inbox. It will link you to the video of the day, and then you hold yourself accountable. You go into the private Facebook group and let us know how you did. Snap a picture of your sweaty workout selfie, or maybe your workout station, or, you know, just let us know. Give us some sort of little photo op that you participated, stepping outside your comfort zone. I'm all about that, you guys. And then that will happen over the course of 7 days. So there will be some workout videos. There will be some nutrition workshops for you. There will be a sensual dance, yoga-inspired sensual dance workout for you. There'll be all kinds of goodies jam-packed in 7 days for you to do something different every day. And it's not overwhelming. It's like a matter of 20 minutes out of your day. I know you guys can do it. And I'm excited to have a lot of ladies on board. I know I'm going to email out the girls that did the first one because I know they're going to want to do it again and be a part of the group. And it's incredibly awesome to watch women go through it and connect as a community and have a great time. So I hope you'll join us. Like I said, make sure to sign up at the link. You'll get all of the freebie details as we unroll it on May 1st. And I'm going to be doing it along with you guys because I can certainly use a little rut busting myself. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the 7-day challenge and also in the private Facebook group, which you can join now. There's always fun stuff going on there. So I'll see you guys there.